Always fun to hang out with this guy, our TSN baseball analyst, Steve Phillips. Steve, Max Scherzer will turn 41 years old this summer. So at this point in his career, do you see him as more of a clubhouse guy, positive figurehead, or does this guy actually still have an impact arm?
Well, score one for the old guys. Like, I'm all in favor of that, by the way. So, look, I think he still has some game left. Three-time Cy Young Award winner. He's a future Hall of Famer. And when he's healthy, he's productive. Now, he battled health at the end of 23 and for most of 2024, but he's had a healthy offseason, looks completely ready to go. And what I love is that, listen, he's a hired gun at this stage. He wants to sign on with a team that has a chance to win. Now, the word on the street was he was waiting to see if the Jays signed Pete Alonso, and then he would close out the deal and come to Toronto. Now, he's done it without an Antron Alonso, although it's still alive for the Blue Jays. We're hearing they've got a 6-year offer on the table for Alex Bregman, and yet he's gone ahead and made the move to go to Toronto. So I think that there may be some thought that something else is coming, but I love this for them. The expectation is just go be a fifth starter. Yep. We don't expect you to be the ace. Just go out there and pitch. I think he's a great fit. He's going to rub off on everybody else. I think at some point he's going to help Alek Manoah and his return from injury. And so I think this is a very good signing for the Blue Jays. He's going to help everybody in the rotation, and when healthy, I expect him to pitch very well.
That sounds like music to Blue Jays fans' ears. You also mentioned Alex Bregman and Pete Alonso, Steve. They just also happen to be, like Scherzer, Scott Boras clients. And I don't know if this is how Scott Boras does business. You'd know much better than me. But do you think there's any chance that, you alluded to it, is there a chance that because they're all working for the same agent, or they all have the same agent, that maybe there's something there?
I do. I think there's more to come. I mean, really, when Scherzer was waiting for Alonso to finalize his deal with Toronto, and then he went ahead and moved before the other two, he doesn't do it without Scott Boras including him in on what's going on with the other guys. And so I never know how Scott does it. It always feels like a conflict of interest because the same teams that have interest in Alonso have interest in Bregman. How do you manage that along the way? And yet, listen, the Jays are in on both, and quite honestly, with Scherzer signing, it makes me think they're going to get one of the two at least. And if the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. negotiations aren't going well, I suggested 3 weeks ago, go get Santander, which they did. Go get Bregman and Alonso. And if you can't sign Vladdy, then trade him and go and get young, controllable pieces in return, whether that's another outfielder, whether that's another young pitcher, whether that's a future potential infielder, and line yourself up to win both in 2025 and beyond. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what the next move is. But I expect there to be another move, at least adding one more bat to the Blue Jays lineup.
Steve, the offseason didn't start off great for Shapiro and Atkins. They lose out on Juan Soto, just as they lost out on Shohei last summer. And yet, these last few weeks have been pretty exciting for this team, Steve. So how would you evaluate the offseason for the Jays?
Well, they've got a chance to have the biggest save of the year, more than any game, because this was heading down a bad path, right? It was the kid that cried wolf, that every time they get everybody excited about a player and then you go away. You get somebody excited about a player and go away to the point that you stop sort of reacting, but now you get Santander. Now you get Scherzer, the 3-time Cy Young Award winner. Now you're dreaming about Bregman or Alonso or both. And so, yeah, I think they're saving this offseason right now. It was a critical year for the direction of this organization, but I feel comfortable that instead of dialing back for 26 and beyond, they're still going to stay in the win now mode, both in this season and in the future.
And things are getting close here, Steve. We're just 2 weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting to Dunedin for spring training, so I'm getting excited. Always great to talk to you. Steve Phillips, thanks for this.
Thank you.